Escape rooms are typically considered a fun experience for family and friends to do together. Others think of them as scary rooms where you're locked in with no way out. But in Baton Rouge, escape rooms are more than that. Here, they're being used for learning experiences and company outings for team building and education. While some may think that escape rooms are expensive to create, one local university is using tools at its disposal to change that. In this episode of Business Report's Bottom Line, we visited Franciscan University to get an up-close look at the making of a medical-based escape room. The event took place at Fran U's pre-existing simulation rooms, where students train in realistic medical scenarios. We talked to Tara Milligan, clinical coordinator at Fran U and creator of the escape room, about where the idea came from and how the rooms function.
I got the idea from one of our educator conferences. They were talking about innovative ways to teach medical learners new and exciting information about how to take care of patients. So I just kind of took it and ran with it. So I sort of came home and put together a scenario, and luckily we have the Seth, the simulated education teaching hospital here at the university. So they sat down and we brainstormed and kind of came up with how to put the clues into the scenario.
This wasn't the first time that these simulators hosted an escape room, as Fran U had used these rooms before to host a high school level escape room designed to help students choose a major. But this was the first one designed for in-house students. We sat down with student Adelaide Brown after she finished her room. The room featured a simulated little boy lying on the table for examination. Using clues from around the room and of family members sitting in, Brown and her team had to create a diagnosis in 30 minutes. Each room was observed by a teacher in the control room who was able to watch and listen to the students through cameras and communicate to them via walkie-talkie.
There was a lot on the patient itself, so emphasize our physical exam skills, looking underneath clothes, looking underneath bandages, and then going through the health record, going through all the drawers to find boxes and looking at numbers and all the pamphlets on the walls. That kind of gave us a clue to the diagnosis and how to open up all the locks. He was dehydrated, probably malnourished, and then all of the bruises and scrapes and fractures all over his body. So it all kind of gave us hints to the major problem that was the child abuse going on.
Milligan says the rooms were a success.
Did you look in the EMR?
We plan on making more learning activities like this because I think it makes it more fun and enjoyable when you're learning and doing something that's not just kind of sitting in a classroom listening to a lecture. I do think that other universities can and should do this. It's a really interesting and hot learning type of environment. The generations now, millennials and Gen Z, they're a different type of learner.
It's clear that making an escape room doesn't have to be a big production. Any business can make one with just a few materials. We asked Brown how this one compared to more high-budget ones she might have done in the past.
Have you ever done an escape room?
I've done one.
Where was that at?
The 13th gate. Back in high school. It was stressful. I don't think we finished the room. Yeah, this one wasn't as stressful, wasn't as scary. It was definitely more real life.
While Fran U is just starting out with its escape rooms, staples like 13th Gate Escape have been doing them for a decade. We stopped by and asked a few questions about how a bigger budget escape room can act as its own learning experience for companies looking for an outing. We also got an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at operations at 13th Gate Escape.
This is absolutely the best team building experience a business could bring their employees to. Our games are designed where you have to communicate and work together or you don't escape.
Sam Byrne walked us through what goes into a big budget escape room and talked about some of the misconceptions people might have about them.
These days they're very complicated. Escape rooms, especially the way we build them, are very detailed, very complex, very realistic to make sure that not only is the entire experience from beginning to end immersive and has a great storyline, but also safe. I think that maybe some people still think that you're actually locked in a room when you come to the escape room. You're not. When you come in the room, you can always walk back out. You're free to come and go as you please. The other thing people worry about is it really scary? We have one scary game here. The rest of them are like being a movie, like an action thriller.
We also talked with escape manager Jeremy Scheel about more of the benefits of using escape rooms as a team building experience.
Attention to detail. When you're in a space that has so many details that can be missed, part of the strength of a group is that you have so many eyes. So creating a collective picture through the communication is the key to success. Very few groups who don't communicate that well succeed.
And some big name companies frequent 13th Gate Escape.
We get groups that come through, big groups from Dow, we get Entergy through here, and then we even get a bunch of like local groups. We have Shintech comes through here, Cajun Industries, Capital City Produce.
From Southern Glazers. The staff is amazing with their ability to accommodate and organize our large groups. The escape games have amazing attention to detail and are perfect for team building as well as fun. From Book and Ladder. For a manager, it was so cool to see how each of their strengths came out during this game and how they all were leaders in different puzzle solving throughout the game.
So when you arrive, your game master will get with you and you will go over an instructional video prior to your game, and it gives you more insights of your game and what to expect. So our large groups will come in typically all together, and then we will split them up based off of their game, and we have one game master per game.
Businesses can schedule 8 rooms at a time.
Depending on the game, there is a control station for each different game that has a TV. There are various manual switches, buttons, what have you, that can control things in the game.
Whether it's a new, lower budget escape room designed for students, or a larger budget one that's been in operation for years, escape rooms are learning experiences. Regardless of the theme, they teach communication and attention to detail in a hands-on and fun way that sitting in an office or classroom can't provide.